Hello everyone, thank you for joining into today's Words of Wisdom. Today's is from March 30th, and I quote, "If you polish your Buddha nature with the awareness of being the child of God or Buddha, it'll surely bloom and you'll be able to attain a certain level of enlightenment. This is the same principle as democracy from the laws of secret." Thank you, Master Ryuho Okawa. So this is one of the awesome teachings that I really like from Master Okawa, where he bridges the teachings of Buddhism with modern day politics, democracy. One of the forms of governance that Master Okawa promotes is democracy. And once you start learning Happy Science teachings thoroughly, you'll start understanding that everything at the root, the basis of Master Okawa's teachings, is based on a spiritual view of life. So he's trying to reform modern day politics in a form that is aligned with God's principles, the spiritual principles that God has taught us. So one of the basic teachings of Alcantara is that every human being has Buddha nature, meaning we're all children of God. And if we polish it enough, we'll all be able to attain enlightenment. So that's the same thing as democracy, where in a democracy, your birth doesn't matter. Your future is not bound by your birth or your class. It really depends on your effort. So Abraham Lincoln, he was born in a log house, but he ended up becoming one of the most prominent, famous, wonderful president of the United States of America. That would not have happened if it was not a democracy. So that is the beauty of democracy. Anyone has the chance to become greater and to become anything. And if you think about it, as Master has taught us in today's Words of Wisdom, that's the same principle. Anybody has Buddha nature, and if they refine it, they can all become enlightened. Anybody has a potential to be great, so as long as they make efforts, they'll be able to have a higher post in society. So this coincides. And I think that's why Master Ryuho Okawa has been promoting democracy throughout all of his political teachings. Of course, he's not saying just like not the shape of it, but the content is also important. The structure, democracy, is important, but the contents of it, is that democracy based on faith and freedom? So is there belief in God for everyone that's in that democracy? That's a prerequisite for democracy to work correctly, because Master has been teaching us, especially in the new song, the song of praising the Lord God. In that song, Master has clearly taught us in the lyrics that if the people do not believe in God, what happens is they can become possessed by devils or evil spirits, and by being possessed by devils and evil spirits, they influence our choices in our lives, which means they can influence our votes too. So the devil can vote through a person who doesn't believe in God. So that's why democracy will not function correctly. It's like the same as giving the devils an ability to be able to vote in this three-dimensional politics. So the contents of democracy is important. That's one thing that I wanted to add. The second thing that I'd like to add is the reason why Masters awakened to why democracy is important. It's actually a word from the founder of Panasonic. His name is Konosuke Matsushita. But Konosuke Matsushita said that he awakened to the importance of democracy when he found out that democracy is a country where prosperity is promised. So in a democracy, prosperity can spur. Anyone can make efforts, and anyone can build wealth. And by building wealth, the wealth grows through a heavenly capitalism. And when the wealth grows, you're creating new values, you're creating new value, creating new wealth into this world. And a democracy is a good system for it to be able to prosper. Again, of course, if there isn't ethical values behind the principles of economy, it won't work either. That's why, again, faith in God is also another requirement for a democracy to prosper, and not allowing democracy turn into a mobocracy through populism. So, you know, Master Okawa's political teachings are much deeper than we think. It's deeply connected to the God's values or God's teachings, spiritual teachings. And like I said earlier, he's trying to really reshape and reform a new civilization by teaching us these things. That is Lord El Cantare, Master Ryuho Okawa. To end today's video, let me quote it again. If you polish your Buddha nature with awareness being the child of God or Buddha, it will surely bloom and you'll be able to attain a certain level of enlightenment. This is the same principle as democracy from the laws of secret. Thank you, Master, and thank you everyone for joining. Bye-bye.